Remind me to ask if there's any public participation, all right? On
All right, Tony, we are now recording.
Okay. All right, 6:07. This virtual meeting of the City of Kingston Zoning Board of Appeals will now come to order. It is 6:07 PM. My name is Tony Arkelevich, and I will be chairing this proceeding. I will take a moment to explain how the Zoning Board of Appeals functions. The board is comprised of 5 members and 2 alternates. We have been appointed to serve the citizens of the City of Kingston. We perform this service to the best of our abilities on a voluntary unpaid basis. The other board members are Joe Fitzgerald, are you here? Brian Cafferty,
Joe is here. He needs to unmute his phone. Unmute himself. Joe, please unmute yourself, Joe.
does he know how to do that on the phone? Well, until he speaks, he's not here. Brian Cafferty here. Donna Martin is here. Mary Newbauer. Ari Goldstein is not here. So it's 3 members right now. We have a basic quorum of 3. Of course, we have to be unanimous in any of our decisions, or we get into the default denial situation that we were in once before. So that's nothing but just an explanation, not any urging. There will be a period for public comment this evening after each variance request has been presented, and Eric's going to remind me to ask for that, please. This period is an opportunity for individuals to make a statement of opinion, not to engage in debate. Each speaker must state their name and address for the record. Speakers must be brief and to the point to allow everyone a chance to speak. Speakers must address the board as a whole, not individual members, and not other speakers or audience members. Professional demeanor is expected. Okay, the first order of business is to approve the minutes for the April 8th, 2021 meeting. Motion, please.
Make a motion to accept them.
All-
I second.
All of our motions and second at this point are going to be the same, so it might be an opposite. So all in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, the second order of business. Based on a letter from attorney Victoria L. Polidoro, I need a motion to approve the adjournment to the June 10th ZBA meeting of a matter related to the appeal of a ZEO interpretation regarding 323 Wall Street owner LLC. So we're adjourning that issue and appeal to June 10th in order for the attorney Victoria Polidoro time to prepare her case. Do I have a motion, please?
I move to adjourn.
I second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Approved. So we'll anticipate that at the June 10th meeting. Okay, at this point, I'm assuming we have Susan Flores with us.
Correct.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, our first application is for 129 Prospect Street, Zone R2, Ward 4. The applicant is seeking an area variance from 405-8, attachment 2. Applicant is seeking to construct an addition onto her current house. From the allowed variance would be for reduction from a 5-foot side yard setback to 0.6 feet, approximately 7 inches from the property line. You had an opportunity to drive by your house. I think that's the absolute closest house to another house that I've seen in the city of Kingston, and I've been in the city of
think so.
Kingston a long time. That is some really close quarters there, 7 inches.
Yeah, it
So,
is.
Basically, you're applying to add an addition on your existing house for a dining area, bedroom, And the addition, looking at the plans, would essentially follow the line of the current house in relation to the adjoining 127 Prospect Street. And again, as I said, the setback would be less than 1 foot.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add to my summary of this? Yeah,
As to myself, you mean?
yeah, if you have anything you'd like to add, you had very detailed drawings that you presented.
Mm-hmm.
One drawing shows the 7-inch setback very well.
Right. No, I just that the addition would be not that close to the house because the addition would go in the backyard there, which would just not be back of my neighbor's house.
Right.
It would be just both of our yards there. So it wouldn't be like the houses themselves are very close, but the addition would not be, or even though it would be,
Be very
so
close
many,
to the- It's going to be very close to the side setback.
yeah, to the borderline, yes, but it wouldn't be close actually to the house, was what I'm saying, like the houses are anyway.
Has anyone ever gotten stuck in there?
No, not that I know of. I've only owned the house since 2017. I don't think so. I've had, they
Can I
have,
answer that question?
Okay, you live next door?
I actually had a very hard time when I owned 129 and 127 to
Uh-huh.
do painting or any work,
Yeah.
even for plumbing, that the pipe had to come out.
Uh-huh.
And anything to do with that, which
I
if you
can
need
understand
gutters
that,
done,
yeah.
it's very, very difficult.
Now you live in 127 right now, or
No, I am the property owner of 127.
you don't live there though? Okay. All right, Susan, is there anything you want to add that's already been discussed? I'm going to put it in a motion. I'm not going to put 7 inches because I don't want to get that detailed. I'm going to word it as less than 1 foot. The setback would be less than 1 foot.
okay.
So, is there anyone who would like to speak from the public regarding this application?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Um,
Address, please.
You have to forgive me, but I had to write it down because this is my fourth language. And it's hard for me to put it together if I don't put it down on a paper. So I'm
Okay.
going to read for what I wrote.
1 minute. Could you just give your name and address, please?
My name is Lula Nikjonai, and I live at 140 Yarmouth Street in Kingston, New York. And I am the owner of 127
Uh-huh.
and 144 Prospect and 138 Prospect. And I also was a previous owner of 133 Prospect and 129 Prospect. And I also own properties in town of Ulster. I'm a
Okay,
landlady too.
okay. Do you have anything to say regarding this application?
Thank you. Yes, I do. Let me see now because I'm a little bit nervous because I never done this.
Oh, that's all right. Just take a deep breath.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm here against this variance for the following reasons. The reason for the zoning is to have standards that protects the privacy and enjoyment of people's property, plus regulates development. The variance is attached to the property, not to the individual. In first place, I am not given permission to cross or work on the construction of that studio addition from my property. I spoke to my lawyer and asked advice. She advises me not to say no to this variance. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, you're opposed to the variance. What you're saying, you're opposed
Yes,
to the variance?
Yes, and I have reason to show why. The plan for the city of Kingston is not to have congested neighborhoods like its citizens. This variance only takes the city backward. 129 Prospect is a two-family house. There is not enough parking already. Another studio apartment would bring more congestion. It's already congested with a single house that is she owns, which has no parking, which she owns another house across the street and it's a single house. And she has no parking for that.
Can I interrupt here, Tony? She's not putting another studio apartment. She's
I was gonna let her finish.
her himself.
Can I finish the letter, please?
Yes, go ahead,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, please.
She is also using 131 Prospect, which half of the driveway of 131 Prospect belongs to Mr. Getty.
Okay, we really just want to discuss 129 Prospect, please, okay? Not other.
I'm sorry, I am discussing that.
Well,
And I'll get to it why, because this is about parking. She is using it by putting fence, shed, trees, cars from different apartments she has.
Okay, I
If
don't want to
this
talk about
is-
that.
I'm almost done. I'm sorry.
All right, but I want to hear 129 Prospect, not other properties,
Well,
okay?
it is that because she's using half the driveway to get into 129.
Ma'am, stick to 129 or I'm going to end your opportunity to speak, okay?
If this studio apartment is approved, there's nothing to stop her after construction is done to put it back on the market and sell it as a three-family unit.
Okay.
Please
right.
make the right decision.
Okay, ma'am, I do want to correct.
I have photographs if you want to see
No,
why
no.
I'm saying this.
No, what I want to say is this is an addition for a dining area and a bedroom. She's not gonna, ma'am,
I'm
you're.
so sorry. I'm a
you're-
landlord and so is she.
Okay,
And you can make a 300 square foot into a studio apartment.
and that would be
Because she
illegal.
had,
Okay, then it would be illegal and she would be fined for having an illegal apartment. So that's the
yeah,
end of.
but once the structure is done, sir,
I'm
that's it.
No, it isn't. I'm not gonna get in a debate with you. This is not for a studio apartment. On the record, we're in the public record. It is not for a studio apartment. If it became a part of a third family residence, there would be fines involved. So thank you very much.
How
Thank
would you know if that did not become a studio? How would you find
Because-
out when she lives there?
But you'd probably call Mr. Kitchen and tell him. So, all right, so
I-
that's the end of the discussion.
Would you like to see photographs?
No, not really, because we can't see them, you know.
No, I can put them. My grandson is here to show you photographs of the
This
place.
is getting way beyond public participation now. I'm gonna cut
There's
this.
already, sir,
I'm-
there's already extension
All right.
on the property.
If I tell you to mute, please mute this lady, please. That's the end of the discussion. Do we have questions for the applicant? Thank you for your comments. Do we have questions for
I
the
do.
applicant? Mary?
I do. Are you presently living in this house,
Yes, I am.
Ms. Flores?
Yes, I sold my house because I had a lot of stairs. And I'm 74 years old now and I don't want to be climbing up 20 steps every day. So I sold that house and I'm living presently in the first floor apartment there because it's a one floor and it's easier, but it's just that it's a one bedroom. And so that's why I want
Is
it.
there a second, is there another tenant in the building, the second apartment?
Upstairs, yeah, I rent the
Correct.
upstairs out. Those guys have been there like 15 years.
All right. Donna, do you have any questions at all?
Well, I just wanted to make one comment, is that she kept saying it was a studio, which we know
Right.
it's not. And, she's not putting a bathroom in there. It's just an
No.
extension. There's no plumbing. If she had to
Right.
do plumbing, she'd have to get another,
Yeah.
permit and approval for that.
Right.
So,
For the record,
Yeah.
Ms. Flores, Is this going to be a studio apartment for the public record?
No, sir, this is just because
That's
the
all right.
kitchen there.
I just
is
need a
here.
yes or a no.
Yes, no, it's not going to be a studio. I'm gonna live there till I die. No.
Please answer that again for me since I heard it.
No, it's not going to be a studio apartment. It's for my own personal use.
All right, do we have any other public comment on this application? If not, board members, I need a motion to approve an area variance from 405-8, attachment 2, allowing a side yard setback of less than 1 foot instead of the required 5-foot setback in order to construct an addition to the house. Do I
I
have
motion to approve.
Mary? Donna?
I approve.
No, it says a motion to approve.
Oh,
You second the motion.
I second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Passes 3-0 for your addition, Ms. Flores, okay? Moving along to number 2 on the agenda. We have a seed here.
Yes.
See, is there a seed, right?
Sayyid Yasin, yes.
Yeah, Siad, Yasin. Okay, Siad, we have application Siad Yasin for 265 Washington Avenue, R2 zone, Ward 3. In doing some research for this application, Mr. Kitchen found a signature page from our meeting of October 10th, 2019 meeting where there was an approval for a 5-foot front yard fence was approved instead of 4 feet as required by the zoning for the front yard, except for the corner, which is the intersection of Washington Avenue and Main Street, which was to be 30 inches. So right now, Ms. Siad, you allowed a 5-foot fence as of the 2019 meeting. You now are requesting a 5-foot fence. From what I gathered, it was 2 sections, 2 linear feet, 2 linear sections of 5 feet each for the corner in the intersection of Washington Avenue and Main Street. Now, what's required by zoning and was reiterated in the meeting in 2019 was 30 inches. However, there was a condition that changed in that corner of Washington Avenue and Main Street is no longer red light, green light, stoplight. It's 4-way stop sign.
Yeah.
I did have the opportunity to view your house again, and you were working in the yard, and we talked a little bit. And you had told me when I asked you why you wanted to put 5 feet on the intersection of Washington and Main, those 2 sections of 5 linear feet. You said on weekends, your yard is littered with bottles and debris. Is that accurate?
Correct, yes.
And that's why you've come back knowing that it requires 30 inches, but we can reconsider this application because situation has changed at that intersection. As I said, it's now a 4-way stop. And I did have the opportunity to do the 4-way stop after speaking with you. And I was on Main Street. I could very clearly see the car that stopped on Washington Avenue heading toward Greenkill Avenue,
Right.
Pearl Street. You could very clearly see the car as opposed to before, because everybody has to stop at a 4-way stop. With the stoplights, you have the red, one has a red and one has a green, and you need to be careful if you're at the red that the green isn't coming through. So I was able to actually stop and view. So that's, we have, is there anything, Syed, that you'd like to add to my summary at all?
No, sir, you already saw it. Just, I want to mention on a main street in my, where my house is, another thing is going in my favor, which is no parking sign from that.
Okay,
So you can see when you're making right turn from Washington to Main, it's very clear. There's no obstruction at all. You can see very well.
yeah, and you have that in your application.
Yes, sir.
You have some excellent photos in your application. You have the application that photo that shows the two no parking signs, and there's quite a distance between those two no parking signs
Correct.
adjacent to your house. So at this point, we're not discussing the 5 feet yard fencing. We're discussing two sections that make the triangles at the intersection of Washington and Main. Are we going to allow 5 feet of those two sections as opposed to the 30 inches that's required? So
Thank you. I really appreciate, sir.
we're just discussing the intersection. And you currently have fence up that's 5 feet
Right,
in your packet that you had
right. I do
pictures
have.
of. Yeah. Okay, board, do you have any questions of Mr. Syed? No?
Now,
No,
did
I
you,
don't have any questions. It's pretty clear. The pictures were clear, the drawings, everything was pretty self-explanatory.
All right, so at this point, is there anyone in the public that wishes to address this application that's on our phone system? Okay, if not, I need a motion to approve an area variance, and I'm going to include the variance for the 5 feet also, just to make it cleaner, both of them. A variance from chapter 405 9C, parentheses 8, and chapter 405-28 to allow a 5-foot fence in the front yard, including the area of the intersection of Washington Avenue and Main Street. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mary seconds. All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, passes 3-0. So you can put those, it's been since 2019, you had those two sections in. Where'd he go? I don't see him there. There he is. You must have had those in mothballs since 2019. Now you you can have like a champagne bottle, like you do on the boats to put it in. So we have that one. And we had the other one. I'm just gonna write my notes here. So I close. Mary on the first item and Donna. Okay, well, that's all we have. Thank you, Mary, and thank you for Donna coming tonight and
You're welcome.
that's the forum.
Welcome.
Good evening.
Okay,
Take
thank
care. Have a good weekend.
you too. Thank you, Eric, for the able-bodied manning the controls there. Have I done everything? Have I done everything I'm
Night all.
supposed to do?
We are all set, Tony. Those are the two things on the agenda.
All right, I just need a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Mary and Donna second.
Yes, I second.
Oh, there she is.
3-0. Approved. All right, good. We didn't have any default denials. That's always good.
Joe Fitzgerald's still on mute here. He's still on the phone.
He's still on the
So
phone
somebody
muted.
wants to say hello to Joe, even though he can't.
Hey, Joe,
Hey,
sorry,
Joe, how you doing?
Hi.
sorry I can't include you because you can't, I don't hear you. I can't register. Your vote, so. All right, Steve, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Good
Okay,
night.
thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're all set.
Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate for all of you guys.
Well, I hope,
Bye.
I hope you don't have the debris in your yard anymore. So,
Well, thank you very much. Yes, it's big help.
okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Tony. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I'll bring the sheets down tomorrow.
Sounds good, sir. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Take care.
I'm off.